You've made it to chapter 31, World's Longest Suicide Note. I'm Roger. I am your host and suicidal, often. But what I'm not is a mental health professional of any kind. So, there we go. Chapter 31. Today, I want to talk a little bit, just for a minute, about our minds, our heads, our operating system, and really what's how that messes with us on a daily basis. I've been dealing with a lot of negative self-talk. It's not abnormal. That's actually pretty normal. That occurs, and that's not unique to me. I mean, that's one of the biggest issues I think that a lot of times people have when you're dealing with a form of mental illness, is that your mind is not your friend. By any stretch of the imagination, it's not your friend. It's definitely not my friend. I mean, your mind might be my friend, but my mind is definitely not. And the biggest problem is when your mind is your enemy, when your mind is the problem, is that it is brutal, diabolical, and evil, and it knows your deepest, darkest. Without question, it knows everything. And so there's nowhere to hide from it. And that's really one of the biggest challenges of the process of the experience, the whatever you call it, of life. And we've all, at the end of the day, we've all had that one person, and we call them a friend, but when you think about it, they're really not really friendly, and they're really there to mess with us more than anything. So, but we all have that one friend, and we call them a friend for some reason, but they're not friends at all. And that's kind of like my brain. My brain, it seems like almost exclusively exists to mess with me, to get in my way, to trip me up. And it's frustrating. It's super frustrating, because it takes a normal situation and makes it abnormal. And everything's got to be abnormal. Everything's got to be an emergency. Everything's got to be a crisis. And that's a lot how I jump from one thing to the next. And in between, of course, it's like that's got to feed my anxiety. And so it's like maybe that's its whole purpose. My brain's whole purpose is to feed my depression, anxiety to a greater extent. That's what it wants. So, yeah, I don't know if you have the same experience. And again, I don't say things to say, okay, well now I'll share with you how to fix that. It takes mindfulness. It takes being in, kind of active within your thought process. You have to be. And when you're not, then it sets you up for, if you're not ready for it, and it knows, believe me, that's the thing, it knows when you're ready. You can't fake it with your own brain. You can't fake yourself out as much as, we do from time to time. It's like, this is what we deal with because this is our brains. And I think that leads, one of the biggest things that leads to exhaustion and to stopping is, and when I mean stopping, I mean quit. I mean suicide. I don't know why all of a sudden I'm dancing around the subject. This is what we're doing here. Don't have to dance around it, for Pete's sake. Just talk about it. But it is frustrating, and I think at the end of the day, that's one of my biggest things is like just trying to get through the day as good as I can, as successfully as I can, but knowing that, there's definitely some challenge there. And lately, the last few days, I've been unsettled. It's just, and it's not really even one thing. I'm hearing that, okay, this is a problem. Whatever the thought is, there's drama hanging out about one thing or another, and it just gets blown up. And I end up thinking about it when so I'm using energy that I really don't want to use on something that I really don't want to be dealing with at this point. But I mean, that's where we're at with my brain lately. So thinking about it and diving into it helps me. And what does that mean? I mean, it's like anxiety, in the sense that the only thing I can really do is instead of running away from it, is dive into it and go through the thoughts and feelings in my head and validate them or not. But it takes time. It takes effort. It takes you away from other things that you would rather be doing or you need to do. So that's a real thing. Our minds are just dicks. And I think I want to make a shirt. I think I'll make a shirt. My mind is a dick shirt. I mean, people may not understand that. I mean, they're not going to understand anyway. But, yeah. I think that'd be a cool shirt. No, whatever. But it is a problem. And it continues to be. And it is for a lot of people. Yeah, minds. Back in the day, for people like me, I would have had a lobotomy. And I'm not messing around when I say that. That was pretty, back in the day, Back in the day, that was a pretty standard practice. Yeah. They don't know what to do with you. Frontal lobotomy. And they were prevalent. I mean, there's stories that you aren't hard to find, and not from not as long ago as you think, where that was a treatment. That was an absolute treatment for what we're dealing with here. And as shocking as that may seem, it was done to the thousands of people were, and there was no HIPAA issues or consent forms, and a lot of times the families of, so my family would bring me to the place for the lobotomy. It's like, we can't handle them, so do what you do. Yeah, it's horrifying. But the history of psychiatry is horrifying. I mean, honestly. So that's of no surprise to me. But yeah, that was actually treatment for me 50, 75 years ago. And I mean, for a lot of us who struggle to stay I don't want to say stay normal. As much as I would love to feel how it feels sometimes, normalcy is not, I mean, the ship has sailed as far as that goes for me. Now it's just about management. It's about finding the best way forward. And it's hard. It's hard when you're fighting society and the thought process, and you're fighting stigma. You're fighting all the doubts and fears that you normally have. It gets to be a lot, and then when we add our own minds in to the people, to the things that are actually hurting us, I mean, that's a slap in the face. Honestly, I just want to not be as tired, to not have to work so hard just to be here, then you start battling resentment, and then it all goes south from there, because you start judging everything and wishing you were somewhere else or somebody else, and that's just something that there's it's a pretty short trip between there and feeling worthless. That's a pretty short trip. So, yeah, our minds. And we're brought up with, the mind's a terrible thing to, with the eggs and the frying pan. And so, yeah, it's not something that, I mean, we're constantly aware how important it is, but it's also, for a lot of us, it's not an asset. At least not all the time. So if you're struggling with your and the funny thing is, and it's not funny, haha. My mom used to call it stinking thinking because it rhymed. And but the stinking thinking was the that negative energy that, you know, when things are really, you know, bad. And but the idea was that it was a choice. How did that happen? That, gosh dang it. What the frick? Did I get that on there? Was that on there before? Anyway, fixed. I didn't even know I did that. Because my mind. And I can't say it enough. I mean, what do we do from here? You know, we have to. There's got to be a workaround. And it's unfortunately mind over matter. But what happens if mind over matter is about our minds? That's an interesting question. It's mind over matter, but it's our minds that matter. I don't know. That needs some work. Has potential to be something, but it's definitely not t-shirt worthy right now. Yeah, and I think one of the reasons I kind of want to, I like these videos and doing them is because this is a transparent, honest look at what goes on. You know, I'm struggling right now, and I'm doing everything I can to stay positive, stay present, and deal with what comes across my face, and for the most part, that's what we do. Is like we work. We just work. We work at it. We move forward. What other kind of platitudes can I say about it that may make a difference? And there's no, when you're dealing with your mind, and there's no easy button to it. So this is it. We work through it. All right, I'm done with that. I'm just done with it. We're gonna move on. But I want you to know that if you're struggling, that if you're having a rough time, I'm sorry. If your brain's fighting you, I'm sorry. All I could say is I know how it feels, and you're not alone. And keep fighting. Just keep fighting. And it doesn't matter. Redemption's in the fight. And that's what I believe. And so that's where I'm going. I'm just going to keep fighting. Just going to keep fighting. And I hope you do the same. We'll see you next time.